in Deutot 8:18. It says, God is the source and giver of our prosperity. But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth. This verse serves as a reminder that our success and prosperity come from God, and it is important to acknowledge and thank Him for our abilities and blessings. It emphasizes the importance of recognizing God's role in our achievements and being grateful for His provision. God will not give you a dream unless He knows you have the talents, abilities, and personality to complete it. His commands reveal the potential He gave you before you were born. You must appreciate the gifts, talents, abilities, potential, and capacity that the sponsor has invested in you. Now He's demanding a responsibility from you. He sponsored you with ability, strength, wisdom, and potential. He's invested treasure in you, and now He's demanding that He see the treasure back. In the land of maturity, you must manifest and show your ability to respond to the demands life places upon you. You must show gratitude for the opportunities provided by the sponsor and prove that you are capable of handling the responsibilities entrusted to you. It is important to demonstrate growth and development in order to fulfill your potential and honor the investment made in you. This is your chance to prove yourself and show that you are worthy of the trust and resources that have been given to you. Embrace the challenges and opportunities ahead with determination and gratitude. Remember, maturity is not just about age, but about how you handle yourself in difficult situations and how you continue to learn and grow. Take this opportunity to showcase your resilience, adaptability, and willingness to take on new challenges with grace and determination. Your actions now will shape your future success and impact those around you. First, you must dig your own wells. In the wilderness, God gave them water from the rock. But in Canaan, they had to dig their own wells to get water. Similarly, in life, we must put in the effort and work to achieve our goals and fulfill our needs. Relying solely on miracles or external sources may not always be sustainable in the long run. Putting in the hard work to achieve our goals can lead to a greater sense of accomplishment and self-reliance. By taking responsibility for our own success, we can build a solid foundation for future growth and development. This proactive approach can also lead to a deeper understanding of our capabilities and strengths, ultimately fostering personal growth and resilience. In essence, digging our own wells serves as a metaphor for taking ownership of our lives and shaping our own destinies. It is important to remember that success often requires consistent effort and dedication rather than waiting for things to magically fall into place. We can create a sense of empowerment and control over our lives. This proactive mindset can ultimately lead to a more fulfilling and rewarding journey towards achieving our aspirations. Number 2, you must sow your own wheat. In the wilderness, they got free food, free bread, and free manna from heaven. But in Canaan, God shut the manna down, and they had to plant their own fields, their own corn, and their own wheat. This shift required them to take responsibility for their own sustenance and put in the effort to cultivate the land. It symbolizes the transition from relying on divine intervention to taking control of their own destiny. The Israelites were learning the importance of hard work and self-reliance. This transition marked a significant step towards independence and maturity in their journey towards the promised land. It also served as a lesson in the value of planning and preparation for the future, as they had to anticipate their needs and work towards meeting them. This shift in mindset was crucial for their success and survival in Canaan. It taught them the importance of being proactive and responsible for their own well-being, rather than passively waiting for miracles to happen. This shift in mindset laid the foundation for their growth and prosperity in the land of Canaan. Number 3, in the wilderness, you get to breed your own cattle. In freedom, you get to breed your own cattle. In the wilderness, God sent quail down. Quail is good meat. At one time, they got tired of the quail, and God sent down another kind of meat. I mean, they had changed the menu, even though they enjoyed the meat. But in the land of Canaan and freedom, they had to breed their own cattle, goats, sheep, and lamb. Why? Because God demanded responsibility. God wanted the people to take care of the animals and be self-sufficient in providing for themselves. This responsibility was a part of their journey towards independence and self-reliance. Breeding their own cattle required hard work and dedication, but it also provided a sense of fulfillment and accomplishment. It was a way for the people to show their gratitude to God for providing for them in the wilderness, and to demonstrate their ability to care for themselves in the promised land. Taking care of the animals also taught the people valuable skills in agriculture and husbandry, ensuring their survival in a harsh environment. By breeding their own livestock, the people were able to thrive and prosper, creating a sustainable way of life for themselves and future generations. Number 4, in freedom, you have to protect your own territory. In the wilderness, God defended them. God protected them. But in Canaan, God told them, every man to get a sword and protect the land that you possess. You've got to protect your own land when you're free. God's protection in the wilderness served as a lesson for the Israelites to take responsibility for defending their territory in Canaan. This shift symbolizes the transition from relying solely on divine intervention to actively participating in safeguarding their land. 5, in freedom, you must take responsibility for defending your own family and children. It is your duty to protect everything under your care. Whatever comes under your care got to be covered by you. In the wilderness, God protected all the children. He kept them healthy and alive. But in the land of freedom, in Canaan, the Bible tells us that God instructed the men of fighting age to defend their homes and families. We see this clearly in the book of Joshua, where they had to defend their territory every time the enemy attacked. God, even though He fought with them, He never fought for them. They always had to go to battle. They had to be in a fight. 6, you must offer your own sacrifices. In the land of freedom, this means you must initiate your own worship. Early in your walk with the Lord, worship feels spontaneous. Remember when you first came to church? You were ready to dance, filled with joy and eager to praise. But now, after years of being saved, you don't dance as you did before. Why? Because in the beginning, worship was easy, like Miriam with her tambourine in the wilderness. There was joy in your heart. and praise came naturally. But now, in your maturity, in the land of freedom, you must worship out of knowledge. You must recognize that He deserves your praise. Even when your body doesn't feel like it. You must discipline yourself to sing, to lift your hands. You can't rely on someone else to prompt you. You have to take responsibility for your own worship. In the wilderness, God appeared to the Israelites day and night. A pillar of fire by night and a cloud by day made His presence visible and tangible. They knew God was with them because they could see Him. But in Canaan, there was no visible cloud, no pillar of fire. God told them to carry the ark on their shoulders and bring His presence with them. This required maturity. As adults in Christ, your freedom means you must bring your own worship. Don't come to service expecting to be stirred up by others. Come prepared, having prayed and fasted. Read the Word and get your mind on God before joining the corporate meeting so that we can all flow together. This is maturity. This is discipline. Take responsibility for your spiritual life and let your worship reflect your growth in the Lord. Number 7, sew your own clothes. In the wilderness, they didn't have to buy any clothes, nor make any. The Bible says their clothes did not wear out. God is awesome. But in the wilderness, He did that because He knew that they could not sew. But the reason why God would give you a lot of free stuff so you could use the time to learn to get it for yourself. Do you understand? He will give you free stuff so you don't have to worry about where stuff is coming from, so you can concentrate on learning how to get it for yourself. But when they ran into Canaan, their clothes wore out, and they had to now learn to make wool out of the sheep so they can make cloth, so they can develop their own clothes. They have to learn how to spin their own thread. In the land of freedom, you have to cover your own body. 8, in freedom, you fight your own battles. In the wilderness, God fights for you. In the wilderness, He fights for you. In Canaan, He fights with you. In Canaan, you must also fight alongside God, relying on His strength and guidance to overcome challenges and obstacles. Trusting in His power and presence, you can conquer any enemy that stands in your way. Remember, faith without works is dead. You must actively participate in the battles alongside God. Through obedience and perseverance, victory in Canaan is assured. Keep in mind that God has already promised you victory, but you must be willing to put in the effort and work alongside Him to see it come to fruition. Stay steadfast in your faith and trust that God will lead you to triumph. Number 9, in the land of freedom, you are responsible for your own communion with God. You got to commune with God for yourself. It's very important. In freedom, you are responsible for your own spiritual growth. In the wilderness, God will grow you up. But in Canaan, you grow yourself up. It is crucial to prioritize your relationship with God and actively seek spiritual growth. While God may guide you in the wilderness, it is ultimately up to you to cultivate your faith and maturity in times of abundance. God is always there to support and guide you, but it is your responsibility to take the necessary steps towards spiritual growth. Stay connected to Him through prayer, meditation, and studying His Word to continue growing in your faith. Lastly, in freedom you must divide and delegate responsibility. In the wilderness, the leader does everything. Everything is resting on the shoulders of the leader, but in freedom, everyone gets their own load. This not only lightens the leader's burden, but also allows individuals to take ownership of their tasks and contribute to the group's success. By distributing responsibilities, each person can focus on their strengths and work together towards a common goal. This fosters a sense of empowerment and collaboration within the group, ultimately leading to a more efficient and effective team dynamic. It also allows for greater adaptability and resilience in the face of challenges, as each member is equipped to handle their designated tasks. Promotes trust and accountability among team members, as everyone is relied upon to fulfill their responsibilities. God will not give you a dream unless He knows you have the talents, abilities, and personality to complete it. His commands reveal the potential He gave you before you were born. Thank you for listening to this message, as we hope that it has been a blessing to you. Our goal is to show you new paths and opportunities so that you can discover your purpose. Please visit our channel for more videos.